early figurines discovered in Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa in the Indus Valley, which date back to before the Vedas, suggestively indicate that some form of yoga was practiced. Jan Y. Dyansky has given a lucid argument in his groundbreaking article, The Indus Valley Origin of a Yoga Practice, that the practice of withdrawing one's consciousness from the body has a long precedence and can be dated to long before the Vedas were finalized. As Dyansky explains, Mahadevan comes to the conclusion that the Soma rituals of the Indo-Iranian religions were based on the pre-Aryan Harappan substratum, and that this is the reason for the remarkable resemblances between the Harappan symbolism of a sacred filter, the peculiar stand in front of animals on many seals, and the Soma ritual as described in the Rig Veda. Although the Indus Valley civilization still holds many secrets, the evidence shows that some of its traditions survived and are still alive today. The system of yoga which originated in the Indus Valley has existed for more than 5,000 years and is now moving from being an Indian tradition to becoming the common property of all humanity. Thus, it is very reasonable to assume that the interior exploration of one's own consciousness by hearing subtle sounds and contemplating inner light is not merely a cultural artifact restricted only to certain geographical regions, but is rather a biological inherency which can be accessed by anyone, anywhere, and any time. In short, Shabd or Nad yoga elicits a structural pathway within our own neuroanatomies. Yet, it is nevertheless evident that the evolution of this practice has cultural and historical variants that have developed over time. India spiritual systems in particular have defined and refined the technique and have given the most exhaustive treatment of the subject to the world. Given that listening to the inner sound to elevate one's consciousness is a structural potential within all human beings, and given that it most likely has a naturalistic origination, the question we wish to explore in the following sections is how the practice manifested over time in differing geographical regions. What we discovered in researching this from a historical and sociological perspective is that the modus operandi of concentrating on inner music seems to be invariably intertwined to the theology of the local region. In other words, Christianity's understanding of Shabd yoga, a term we will use loosely to mean simply any form of meditation that listens to the inner sound for concentration, is invariably explained in light of the Bible, whereas Sikhism's understanding is explained in light of the Sri Guru Granth Sahib. The universal aspect of Shabd yoga, in other words, is relativized by the historical time and context in which it is practiced. This, of course, doesn't minimize its transcendent character, but only underlines that how we interpret our inner experiences is culturally variable.